Are you looking for the best digital cameras slash? In this video we will look at some of the best digital cameras. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description. So make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Number 1. Canon EOS R6 Mark. The Canon EOS R6 Mark II is the best all-arounder we've tested for enthusiasts. This camera is well built, comfortable in the hand, and well suited for all kinds of photo and video work. Its high-resolution, full-frame sensor captures excellent image quality, with plenty of dynamic range to preserve detail and impressive noise handling in low light. It's also a video powerhouse, with uncropped 4K recording at up to 60 frames per second, internal 10-bit 4:2:2 color, and a very effective in-body image stabilization (IBIS) system. That said, Canon's RF lens ecosystem is still being built out, so there aren't as many native and third-party lens options as an alternative like the Sony Alpha 7 IV. The Sony is a fantastic option in its own right, with a higher resolution sensor, similar video specs, and a very reliable autofocus system. However, it has a slower max burst rate, particularly when shooting uncompressed RAW files, and it doesn't support RAW video output. You can't go wrong with either of these cameras, but the Canon has a slight edge. High image quality featuring a new 24.2 megapixel full-frame CMOS sensor. Digic-X image processor with an ISO range of 100/102400, expandable to 204,800. High-speed continuous shooting of up to 12 frames per second with mechanical shutter and up to 40 frames per second electronic, silent, shutter, RAW burst mode and pre-shooting captures up to approximate 30 frames per second. Dual-pixel CMOS AF2 covering up to 100% x 100% area with 1053 AF zones. Automatic subject detection of people, animals, and vehicles using deep learning technology with new subjects to detect including aircraft, trains, and horses. 1. Number 2. Panasonic Lumix S5. If you need a camera for advanced video work, the Panasonic Lumix S5 II offers incredible value for its price. Though it doesn't have features like RAW video output or internal ProRes support out of the box, you'll have to get the Panasonic Lumix S5 IIX for that. It's still a highly capable hybrid camera for video that'll be more than enough for most video shooters. With 6K open gate recording and oversampled 4K recording at up to 60 frames per second, plus a dedicated slow and quick mode for slow motion capture, there's a range of recording options to suit different video styles. It also features excellent IBIS, and its full-frame sensor is well suited to shooting in less controlled lighting conditions. If you need those more advanced features, the Fujifilm X-H2S is a fantastic alternative. It's a powerhouse that supports external RAW video recording and includes Apple ProRes codecs from the jump. Its stacked sensor design also keeps rolling shutter distortion to a minimum, which is great for action video. That said, the X-H2S is pricier than the Panasonic and is likely overkill for most people. Key upgrades to a compact hybrid powerhouse, phase hybrid autofocus, improved IS, and unlimited video, with 24.2 MP 35mm full-frame CMOS sensor for high-resolution, natural description, and approximately 2x higher speed signal processing. Fast, accurate phase hybrid autofocus, advanced subject detection and metering technologies capture the target subject in focus even in adverse lighting conditions. Once locked on the subject, it keeps tracking even with multiple moving objects. Powerful image stabilization, with the S5 II and S5 IIX Lumix developed active IS, which supports walking shots, to further enhance image stabilization in video recording. Expressive video functionality, 14+ stop vlog/V gamut capture delivers a high dynamic range in broad colors, plus a real-time LUT function is provided to enable in-camera photo and video color grading, with LUT 6K 30p open gate unlimited recording. Number 3. Fujifilm X-T5. If a camera like the Canon EOS R6 Mark II is out of your price range, the Fujifilm X-T5 is a fantastic choice at a lower price point. Though it uses an APS-C sensor, it's one of the highest resolution APS-C sensors on the market, at 40.2 megapixels, giving you stunningly detailed images and lots of leeway to crop in your photos if needed. With its portable design, dedicated exposure dials, and 3-way tilting screen, the X-T5's photography-first design is also great for street or travel photos. Though it's aimed primarily at photographers, the camera has some surprisingly impressive video specs, with internal 10-bit capture, log recording, and 4K at up to 60 frames per second. If you don't need those features and would prefer a full-frame sensor, the Nikon Z6 II is another great choice at this price point. It's less portable, but its ergonomics and user interface are excellent. However, as mentioned, it lacks newer models' more advanced video capabilities. Number 4. Sony Alpha 6700. The Sony Alpha 6700 is a seriously impressive mid-range camera and a long-awaited update to Sony's APS-C lineup. With advanced video specs that bring it up to the standards of today's market, including 4K 120p capture, internal 10-bit 4:2:2 recording, and IBIS, it's a great choice for hybrid shooters. It's no slouch for photography, with a 26MP backside illuminated crop sensor that captures stunning images with plenty of detail, dynamic range, and best-in-class autofocus. That said, it does have some limitations. If, for example, you need raw video output, the Fujifilm X-S20 has you covered and also supports 6.2K open gate recording. However, 4K is capped at 60 frames per second on this camera, and this model has a less reliable autofocus system. Sports and wildlife shooters may also prefer the slightly pricier Canon EOS R7, which has better ergonomics and faster burst shooting but fewer native lens options. 26.0MP APS-C format XMR back illuminated CMOS sensor. Bion's XR processing power for exceptional image quality. Dedicated AI processor and real-time recognition for accurate subject tracking. 4K/60p 6K oversampled 4:2:2 10-bit recording with long GOP or all intra formats. High frame rate 4K 120p recording. Number 5. Canon EOS R10. Canon is king when it comes to entry-level models, with a range of affordable, easy-to-use bodies at different price points. The best of these is the Canon EOS R10, which marries the familiar ergonomics and intuitive interface Canon is known for with a great APS-C sensor, some surprisingly advanced video specs, and one of the best autofocus systems you can find at this price point. The biggest drawback is that lens selection for Canon's RF mount is still quite limited, but if that isn't a deal-breaker, there's much to love here. Alternatives with more established lens lineups include the Fujifilm X-S10 and the Sony Alpha 6400. The Fujifilm is one of the few cameras at this price point with IBIS, which can help you get smoother handheld shots, though its autofocus is much less reliable than that of the R10. Meanwhile, the Sony model is behind the times for video features and has a less intuitive user interface and ergonomics, but there are many native and third-party E-mount lenses to choose from. Its AF holds up quite well, too, and it's a little cheaper.